this is part 2 of the Robot Damashii Heavy Gundam anime review. In part 2, we're going to take off the armor parts, or slash cast off the armor parts for the Heavy Gundam to reveal the more typical RX-78-ish look inside. But before we start, I think I need to show you guys like a side-by-side comparison with the full armor Gundam anime. This is also Robot Damashii, so keep that in mind. So you can see they're not exactly the same. Even the leg armor, the way how they attach are kind of similar, but in terms of design, they're also very different. Come to think of it, the length of the armor is also pretty different as well. And obviously, the full armor Gundam has all these places where you can fire off missiles and such. That's not the case for the heavy Gundam as well. So, other than the color, you can see a lot of armor parts are very different. Even the backpack cannon is very different. So these are practically two different mobile suits. I just wanted to mention that. Alright, so let's get on to the taking off the armor parts. So we're going to do one by one. We'll start with the easy ones with the shoulder armor. So you can just pop them out and then reveal some more RX-78-ish shoulders. So we're going to take off the body armor. Now, for the full armor Gundam anime, you had to take off the backpack and the front part of the armor. But for the heavy Gundam, that's not the case. All you need to do is just take off the armor that's in front. The backpack is actually a permanent stay over there. So So I suggest you kind of divide these pegs from the backpack, which makes it easier to do so. And then yeah, it should be able to pop out as well. And there you go. You can take it off, one single piece. You can see I guess these are the parts that latches onto the cockpit, I think. And yeah, we have the top sections completed. Now for the arms, now it looks like how the full armor Gundam works is that you can pull out these sections out, but for the heavy Gundam it looks like it can also be pulled out, but that's not the case. So I actually tried to force to pull these out, but it doesn't, and it doesn't even mention the manual, so please do not force it out as well. You don't want to break anything. And then once again we have the crotch piece armor. Once again, I'm not really too sure what's the point of protecting the crotch part, but okay. I mean, when it comes to humans, yes, it's necessary, but for a mech, I have some doubts. So yeah, we're almost done. The only parts that's left is the legs. So legs, I guess, let's take off the feet since they're easier to pull off. You just pull them out. There we go. And then these parts, I thought they would slide in, but no. You can see there's pegs here, so just pull them out. Pull them down. Don't slide it out. So, and there you go. And then the legs, now it's really up to you to start which, but I think the manual tells you to start off with the lower section of the leg. So take these parts out. Yeah, it's supposed to come out, but obviously when I'm doing this in front of camera, now it starts to not cooperate. There we go, we took those out. And since this part is out, I guess we could take this part as well. Take off the ankle guards. Technically we're taking off the armor of the ankle guards, not the ankle guards itself, so just keep that in mind. So we can take those out as well. Now I believe from here you need to take off the knee armor, so just take them out. Now the manual makes it really look easy, but just be careful. I mean, these parts don't really break that easily, but just be careful. And once you have the knee armors out, you just need to divide these two apart, and there we go. They fall off pretty easily. And now we have the RX-78-ish base design. Now, at this point, the color scheme and everything looks pretty similar to a previous one I actually reviewed, which is the prototype Gundam. One of my personal favorite RX-78 variants out there as well. You can see the base format, the color format seems pretty similar, but I guess the black section is more of a... The prototype Gundam has a more darker color scheme as well, and the ankle guards also different designs. Once again, we have more details on the heavy Gundam as well. So yeah, the only one of the biggest difference would be obviously the arms, the backpack, and the head as well. Alright, so at this point, we can talk about articulation. So because of the armor, the shoulders were kind of hindered. So what you can do with these normal Robot Damashii figures is that you can move the shoulders up front like this. Now technically it's not only the shoulder that's moving, it's the body part that kind of folds inwards like that. You can see the part that's folding inwards, so to give you a range of movement. I guess this is to be more of a more natural looking movement or something like that, but you get my idea. And the arms are still, the bend angle is still the same because of the armor as well. The legs armor, well, the leg itself improved much more since we have less armor, the more it can bend as well. And yeah, there's not much to actually talk about, to be honest, because this is pretty much it. Now, one of the biggest difference regarding this is that now we actually have a beam saber on the backpack. Unlike the full armor Gundam, which I believe, they do provide beam sabers, but only for the base ARC-78. There's no place to actually store the beam sabers on the full armor Gundam itself, depending on the version, of course. Alright, so since we're here, I'll be right back with the first set of equipment. Okay, I'm back with the first set of equipment. So here we have the, shooting from above, beam rifle on the hand, shield on the other arm, and then bazooka on the backpack. Having the extra cannon on the back does make the mobile suit pretty heavy armed actually when you look at it, because one of the biggest problems with the ARC-78 was that the moment it loses its beam rifle, it kind of loses a lot of firepower. But at the same time, with looking at this aspect with the Heavy Gundam, I feel like this is also one of the cases where they kind of fixed that issue as well. So yeah, I should take these parts off now. So once again, everything is pretty standard from here on. So if you want to have the, let me just get this right. Okay, so if you want to have the beam rifle in the hand, you just need to use the trigger fingers, which I'm actually using, and has no problems holding it. But one thing I also noticed is that now, since this thing does not have any extra handle on the front, there's no way to actually do the double hand pulse with the beam rifle as well. So once again, I'm not really sure how this is going to be. I'm not sure if this is a improved version of the previous version, because I would assume this is a more larger energy pack, which would give it more shots, or maybe a more focused shot, powerful shot as well. So yeah, so we've seen this, so I'll be right back with the bazooka holding pose now, because yeah, there's not much to show at this point. Okay, I'm back. This is going to be the last part, because I don't think at this point it's really necessary to show you guys the beam saber effect parts, because we know how those things works. So as much as I love the bazooka design for this one, I just noticed that maybe the Heavy Gundam, or this form, was not really meant to hold a bazooka, because number one, as you can see, I'm barely on the shoulder, because number one, on this side of the shoulder on the backpack, it's actually colliding with the beam saber, so it's not actually on the it's really barely on the shoulder. And number two is that the handle doesn't really move that much. This is as far as it goes, so maybe like the Hakushiki style bazooka, like the clay bazooka, maybe this is supposed to be hold like this as well. So at least if on the left arm this is actually possible, or at least it's much more easier. But if I go on the, okay, I'm not gonna actually swap the handle, but I'm just gonna take it out. So if we're going on the right arm, for example, the problem is, once again, number two is that barely on the shoulder, and we're colliding with the cannon on the back, which means if we actually go lower here, the mag is actually going to be colliding with the cannon, unless it's going to be like this. But at the same time, it wouldn't really make sense to hold it like this. So yeah, maybe the bazooka was not really meant for this unit as well. But I mean, it's a nice addition. I just want to mention that, because I do like the looks of the bazooka. And I think this is the first time actually seeing this bazooka in Robot Damashii format. And the ammo pack does not come out. But yeah, at least the scope moves left and right. And that's pretty much it for the review. This was the part 2 for the Robot Damashii Heavy Gundam. So unexpectedly, the Heavy Gundam was announced, and then it comes with a lot of good stuff. And to the fact that not only we get the Heavy Gundam, but also we are able to take off the armor to reveal a more RX-78-ish design. I don't think there's a specific name for this form, so if I'm wrong, just please let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the part 2 review for the Robot Damashii Heavy Gundam anime. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.